Earlier today on Studio 11, our legal analyst Robin Sachs gave us her take on whether the defense made a reasonable case on how Michael Jackson died.
So one issue that they brought up was, how did Michael Jackson die? The lorazepam defense that we thought could make its way to this case did make its way to the case. There is now a question as to whether or not propofol was actually the medication that killed Michael Jackson. They think
it was lorazepam, or what everybody knows as Ativan.
That's right, a combination perhaps of lorazepam with the propofol, but the lorazepam would have been self-ingested. So their theory of self-ingestion is not propofol self-ingestion.
Yeah, because that didn't work for them. They basically say, yeah, there's no way he could do it in the IV, or he's not going to drink it, and then they realized that if he drank it, it still wouldn't kill him. And so now they've got a new theory. Oh, well, maybe he reached over and grabbed a bottle of pills.
That's right.
And did that.
That's right. So the self-ingestion theory that we all thought was going to be the self-swallowing or self-ingestion of propofol became the self-ingestion of lorazepam. So that's one issue. And then the other issue was whether or not the theory of the prosecution's case of how the death actually happened was exactly the way the prosecution lays out.
Okay.
All right, Robin says on Monday the prosecution will be laser focused on their cross-examinations. I think you guys pointed that out, of Dr. White, and bring the case right back to the propofol and back to the defendant's statements before they put Dr. Stephen Schaefer on as a rebuttal witness.
And so it sounds like we're not going to hear it all from Dr. Conrad Murray speaking or testifying. The judge is saying no.
Well, I don't think he, excuse me, I don't think he has anything to gain by taking the stand at this point, depending on what comes out. They've already got his statement in. People have been pointing out inconsistencies. All he does, if he takes a stand now, is just leave himself open to the prosecution.
Anthony?
You know me. I've been saying from the beginning, I think it's a big mistake for him not to take the witness stand. Yeah. It's nice that we talk about the jury instruction judge. It's nice that we play lawyer. But the fact of the matter is, when you're in trial, the trial is not a battle of the experts. It's a battle for the hearts of those jurors. Those jurors will grab on to Dr. White if they want to. But they got to want to acquit Dr. Murray. He has to take the stand. He has to be a human being in their eyes. He has to make them like him. If they feel bad for him, if they think he tried, if they think that he did his best in that room and they have some sympathy for him, then they're going to make with their mind whatever reason they want to vote not guilty.
So they could still call him at this point in the game.
They can call him right up to the end.
But there's still the issue of Michael Jackson. And it seems to me that they have not done an adequate job of painting him as a dependent drug user or a drug addict, or whatever you want to call him. And that's the danger that they run into, because you may have 12 jurors who are actual fans of Michael Jackson. There's a real danger there, Mark.
Absolutely. And you know what they've tried doing, and I don't know if anyone caught it, but they tried to have Dr. Murray testify through White. When they said, didn't you meet with Dr. Murray? And the prosecutor caught it immediately, said, whoa, 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 we're stopping this show. We're not going to let White testify as to their conversation. And that was just a backdoor way for the defense to try to have Murray testify without Murray being subject to cross-examination.
Well, and he has done that somewhat through his statement. Also, I think yesterday the defense had a bit of a coup. The court has been keeping out any evidence of Dr. Klein and the Demerol. Right. And one of the rules of evidence is an expert may rely on hearsay, may rely on a number of things that others cannot, as long as it's something experts do rely on.
We knew the records were going to come in. We knew they could talk about the records.
And so what he got in was the Demerol amount. And if you notice, the defense then asked him, wouldn't it be good to have, asked the addiction expert, whose name I just forgot, wouldn't it be good to have Dr. Klein, et cetera? And of course the court said no. But you know, the jurors have been hearing that name so many times, and they're wondering what's going on out there. He's sort of the mystery person that hasn't come in.
Was the expert Waldman?
Yeah, Waldman. Dr. Waldman.
That's right.
But the problem with Waldman, I mean, I agree. You're talking the Saudi defense, SODDI. Right. Some other dude did it, one of these. No, we got it. But the problem...
You know, there's some excellent decaffeinated blends.
No, but the real problem, again, with Waldman's testimony is he couldn't get his charts right. Do you guys remember? He's like, whatever date it was, I want to say it was the 2nd or the 3rd. Well, there is no record of that. Okay, scratching it out. Yeah. Scratching it. His credibility was shot.
Let me ask you about stuff like that, because there's a, you know, when you see the doctors talking about milliliters and parts of millions and all this kinds of stuff in the toxicology report, how much import is that as far as the jury is concerned? Do they place, I mean, do jurors actually go through those, and do those mean anything to them?
It does. My experience interviewing jurors after trials goes two ways. One has been already mentioned. if the jurors will make every effort to try to understand all of the technical evidence. And remember, they can ask for rereads of the testimony. They will have all the evidence in the jury room, and you will have the collective intellect and perception of 12 people. On the other hand, I've had jurors tell me where they just couldn't make heads or tails out of the experts.
Yeah, just went
they
over
threw
their
out
head.
the experts.
What do you think, Anthony?
I agree in essence. When the experts get too technical, it's always a big problem for the side that's presenting that expert. When they get lost in the technicalities, then suddenly it's just all nonsense to them. They're going to go with their heart. They'll figure out what they're going to rely on with their head, and that's the nature of them. We have 12 human beings that are going to vote on the guilt or innocence of this doctor. And the fact of the matter is, getting 12 all to unanimously agree one way or another is difficult in many cases. This one, if it's a battle of the experts and they can't agree,
Yeah.
It'll
You know,
be. We got to take a break, but it's interesting to think about these jurors and how much they are taking in, because we have heard that they knew which evidence was numbered here. So
Right.
maybe they're taking some really good notes.
Yeah, they're watching
we
it
have to
very
wait to hear
closely.
from
They
them, though.
absolutely are.
More analysis of a key prosecution witness when we come
I mean,
back.
he had to come with his passion bucket full. They wanted to come forward with some strong defense evidence.
All in that bag, it's all mixed
Did
up.
Dr. Paul White poke enough holes in the prosecution's case? More analysis coming up.
Want to follow the Michael Jackson